Back into Steelers latest, your daily spot for all news and information related to your Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content to stay up to date with everything latest about your Steelers. But as I mentioned yesterday, we're going to continue our rookie minicamp breakdowns of our rookie players. Yesterday, we started with our first two draft picks and Derek Harmon and Caleb Johnson. And today we're going to hit three with Jack Sawyer, Yaya Black, Will Howard. But let's get things rolling as Jack Sawyer. What are the big takeaways from the first eyes on Sawyer? So the main thing is that he's the Energizer Bunny out there. That is his nickname out there right now, as he practices at high speeds. He's a try hard in practice, and that should translate well onto the field for us as Steelers fans. You know, we develop outside linebackers really well. You got Herbig and now Sawyer as the backups to TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. I think they are technically the future now. Uh, I see Highsmith kind of getting out of here soon. All depends on if we extend TJ Watt, if he's going to be gone here soon. This is his contract here. I could see Sawyer and Herbig getting in-game reps, a decent amount of them all year long. Herbig for sure. Sawyer, more of a question mark since he is a rookie. But with how he practices, practice how you play, they always say when you grow up. And if he plays like how he's practicing out there, it's going to look really good for the Steelers because man has a high motor, never seems to get tired, and that is only a bonus for us Steelers fans. But already, TJ Watt reached out to him. We talked about yesterday with Derek Harmon. Cam Hayward reached out to him. The veterans of the defensive side of the ball doing their job. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to hear as Steelers fans. Even in this contract negotiation going on with TJ Watt, he's still out there trying to bring up the youth. That's amazing. Amazing to hear, right? That's great news for us Steelers fans. Makes me feel like TJ Watt, the deal should get done here soon, hopefully. But we'll talk about that another day. Let's move on to Yaya Black, though. Uh, the main thing, massive. Man is massive. If you thought Derek Harmon was a big interior defensive lineman, Yaya Black is even bigger. But the size and strength, of course, never the questions of Yaya Black. The main thing that was the main takeaway from this weekend was his two sledgehammers he has attached to his arms for hands. When he's hitting the pads, it's the loudest pop out there. No one else this past weekend had any louder pop on the bag drills. I mean, that's what you like to hear. Now, the fundamentals, the techniques of Yaya, those are the question marks. Those are what we got to develop. That's the regimen we got to get him on. We got to make sure the fundamentals he doesn't look past. He doesn't use his athleticism and his strength to those can't be the only weapons in your tools in your tool bag because everyone's athletic. Everyone's a freak of nature in the NFL. You're not going to be able to get by just by your athleticism anymore. So I'd love to see him develop more as we approach the season. But it was a good first showing. Once again, he has two sledgehammers at the end of his arm for hands. So when he gets hands on you, it's going to hurt. He's going to knock the wind out of a lot of offensive linemen in preseason. And maybe if he gets live game reps during the regular season, you'll be able to see him manhandle a couple people. But that is it on Yaya Black. Looking good for the Steelers rookie class. Of course, nothing bad's going to come out just yet about anyone. But moving on to the quarterback room, the mainstay, what everyone cares about most, the QBs. Uh, Will Howard. Now we all remember Will Howard wants to be a Steeler. He was begging on draft day, round 6. The video's out there of him being like, Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, please draft me, Pittsburgh. Well, he's in Pittsburgh now, and I mean it's as good as a fit as you could wish for a rookie quarterback. I think we were one of the top destination spots for most of the rookies, probably, if they had to choose where they wanted to go to out of all the teams that were looking for quarterbacks. Pittsburgh probably most of the quarterbacks in this draft class is number one choice. Will Howard's just the one lucky enough to get here. Now he did slide down the draft board from from the early fourth round to late in the sixth round. Cost him relatively $1 million that slide in his 4 years. That cost him a total of $1 million. So that hurts. But he's still happy to be here. Now, the good news about Will Howard is he looks comfortable as a leader already and a signal caller on the field as he was leading the rookies out there at the mini camp. Uh, that's what you like to hear. Kind of thought so. You would assume so. 5 year player in college, national championship winner last year at Ohio State. On the Gruden show, he just seemed the most comfortable out of everyone that went on to that John Gruden show. The footwork, though, is the biggest thing. Once again, footwork for the quarterback position. When his feet are under him, he is a really good quarterback, and he proved that in college. But when you make him dance around a little back there, that's where things get a little antsy, and he can turn the ball over. He just becomes less accurate. But Ryan Day said they made tweaks to his footwork following the Michigan loss. Since that Michigan loss, hasn't lost since. So hopefully that carries over into the NFL. Hopefully he can continue to find that rhythm and comfort in the pocket by using his feet a little bit to bounce around, slide, slide, slide correctly in the pocket. That wasn't a loop. That was me. But hopefully everything goes well for Will Howard. I'm really excited to see him in preseason. You know, the last rookie quarterback we had in preseason did pretty well in preseason. Didn't really translate to the rest of the year, but I'm really excited to see how Howard progresses. And could be signing a veteran quarterback here soon. Could be Aaron Rodgers. So he would be learning under a veteran quarterback. If not, he'll be learning from Mason Rudolph, which isn't a bad thing, but not the most desirable thing. But that also does lend itself, if we don't sign a veteran quarterback, to Howard possibly getting on the field sooner and us figuring out if we have our next guy or not. But let's move into some of these post-rookie minicamp signings as two more people were announced today that signed to the team. Running back Matt Hurleman, uh, he started at Cornell, I think, and then transferred to Notre Dame last year, where he played his 2024 season. Mostly a special teamer for Notre Dame. Don't think we really needed another running back in the running back room. That's really not going to contribute much to the team. He is going to probably be playing special teams in the NFL too. That just seems where he's slotted to be in life. Last year, though, for Notre Dame, he returned 23 punts for only 138 yards. Not the best numbers. He also had 13 special teams tackles as a running back in 13 tackles. That's pretty solid. We'll take that production on special teams. Coach Danny Smith loves a good hustler on his special teams. So Matt Hurleman could be finding himself a nice spot on the Steelers special teams when it comes time. And the other signing, this could be a more interesting undrafted free agent. Gareth Warren from Linwood. This is an FCS school. So wasn't playing FBS ball, but FCS, we've seen a lot of talent come from from the lower levels of college also. He played 36 out of the 39 games in his career. So he doesn't have an injury issue. That's what you like to see in your offensive lineman. He's an offensive tackle, mostly played left tackle and left guard in his college career for Lindenwood. All conference 3 times in his career there at Lindenwood. So there is upside to Gareth Warren. Now, could it just be he was overlooked because of playing at an FCS level instead of FBS? Probably overlooked. If he put up those numbers at an FBS school, he would have probably been drafted this year. But Steelers lucked into one here, I think, because there is potential we could see him if our tackle play doesn't improve. That has been pretty abysmal the past couple years with Broderick Jones. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gareth Warren can work his way up the depth charts and into his starting role by the end of the season if he performs real well and if he continues to practice really well. Uh, but finally, I'm going to end on this. He performed really well in the East West Senior Bowl game. So that's a good sign too. Those are people his age, people going into the draft this year, players that got drafted on the defensive side of the ball that he had to line up against, that he had to block, and he performed really well at that East-West Shrine game. So I think there are high hopes for someone like Gareth Warren out of Lindenwood. I think this could be a good fit and someone you might get to know a little bit in our futures as Steelers fans. But that is it from Steelers Latest. I've been your host, Cole Dennis, and I will see you tomorrow.